Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're doing this fresh, pink, fun spring makeup refresh look. I just wanted to break out of my usual neutral warm browns I use in the colder months and do a little spring makeup refresh. Hope you get some inspo for the warmer months. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's get into our spring look. I forgot to hit record, but I did already put this foundation on, so I guess we'll skip that. This is the Bite Beauty Changemaker in L20. I just used a sponge and did a really light layer all over my face to get a nice even coverage. This is my go-to if I want a fresh look, but still has the coverage that I like. Onto concealer, I want to focus more on concealing and using less foundation for just a more fresher, less makeup type of look. So this is a new concealer to me. This is the Jouer. This is the Essential High Coverage Concealer. I have the shade Lace. I'm not really sure how I feel about this under the eyes. It's definitely pretty good, but I'm gonna use that for the three little blemishes we got going on over here. It's definitely great for blemishes because it is so high coverage. And then I'm gonna dab some just anywhere else I feel like I need it. And then using the same Hailey's Beauty sponge, if you want extra coverage, you could sort of dab this in with your fingers, but I like with sponge, honestly. We're also going to be using this under the eyes. The doe foot picks up a lot of product, so I usually wipe it off or just be very careful. I'm doing the inner corners and the outer corners, so we don't get too much product caked up in that area. And a little bit of this definitely goes a long way. And then I'm popping it on my eyelid like I usually do, just to cancel out the redness that I have. Now I'm just setting with my LYS translucent powder, but just right under the eyes and on my eyelid, because we're gonna do a little bit of cream contouring. This is an Eco Tools little setting brush. So now that we don't have to worry about the under eyes creasing, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty cream contour in the shade 01 Amber, which is very cool toned, so I go light-handed, but I love this for more fresh looks because it's not super pigmented. Just gives a gorgeous glow to your skin. I'm actually going to be using my finger to apply this. So starting here, I'm gonna apply it higher than my cheekbone so it does not drag down my face. A little bit just right under my lip, and then a couple dots for that double chin. For my nose, I am using a ColourPop E3, which is just a flat little brush in here. And I just like to draw two lines right there. You could also use this under the lip for a more precision type of look. I'm not gonna do the forehead yet. Using the same sponge just to get a really seamless blend. I'm going to start tapping that in. See how natural that is? It's just so blendable and easy to use. Perfect beginner contour product in my opinion. Whatever is left actually on the sponge, I don't like to do a lot on my forehead. So once I'm done blending all of this, I'll use whatever's extra and then just carve that out a little bit. For the under chin contour, I'm also making sure to not really bring it down past here because we want the shadow to be right under the chin, because if you kind of bring it down, it almost drags your face down a little bit. And then lastly, I'll go in with the nose blending. Now that everything's blended out, you can tell it did shape my face a little bit, but it looks so natural. I just love this formula. So perfect to want to sculpt your face but not do too much, because with other contour products, especially the Anastasia contour stick I used to use, they're so thick and pigmented, it just gets out of hand and looks unnatural. So that's been one of my favorites really since I got it. Moving on, I'm gonna set the rest of my face before we do our blush. I think I'm just gonna use my same LYS Beauty translucent powder, which I hope is back on Sephora. I know it was sold out for a while, so if you're interested, just check the link below. Hopefully they restock. I actually want to grab a new foundation shade because the one I got does not match me, and I really love that foundation formula. If you haven't seen it or heard of this brand, by the way, I do have a full review on my channel. All right, we are looking good. I forgot how much I love this foundation. I just stopped using it because I found other ones, but it looks so natural and beautiful. So good. I'm going to do a bit of bronzer to add some more warmth using the Pure Bronzing Act in matte bronzer. This is the lighter one. It smells like chocolate, which is nice. And this is very light, barely pigmented, which is why I chose it for this look, because it's just soft and natural looking. It's not gonna look too harsh on top of the contour. Just a nice bronzer. For blush, I picked out my most spring blush I could think of. This is the Ritual de Fille Bee Sting Color Nectar Pigment Balm. So this is a really dewy, just gorgeous cream blush. A bit sheerer than a lot of cream blushes I own, which I love because it just gives you a wash of color, and I feel like the shade is just perfect. So per usual, I'm using a little domed brush for this. This one's a ColourPop F20, and I like to dip in, coat the brush and then tap off a lot of the excess. If you haven't seen me do this in my previous videos, I do this to get the color evenly spread, because when I'm applying a cream on top of a powder, I feel like this technique really helps because it's not just gonna stick in one area and then you'll have to blend it out. So once that's all over my brush, I'm gonna keep it at the backs of the cheekbones and then I just stipple it on. So see how easy that kind of went on? I don't have to do a ton of blending. That's when your powder gets really disrupted, is when you have to go in and like mix everything up. If I do feel like there's harsh edges, I go back in with my sponge, press it in, and it's just perfect. For blush, I'm using the Bare Minerals highlighter. This one is in the shade Zen. It has definitely seen better days, but I like this because it's just a really soft pink glow, not too dramatic. I'm just using a Bodyography fan brush, popping that right on top of the blush and blending it out. Matcha with boba is a vibe. If you guys like tea, what's your order? I love matcha. Any sort of green tea, really. All right, I'm gonna do a quick intermission, do my brows, and then we'll be back to start our eye look. I'm back with brows. Now I want to set my face. This is a new product from Item. I got in an Ipsy bag. This is called their One Hit Prime Set and Refresh Dewy Finish Face Mist. I like the packaging. I don't really find that this is dewy, which is a little weird, but we're gonna use it anyway. Has a nice scent just to melt the powder into the skin. For eyes, we're gonna start out really simple with the Jason Wu. This is the Desert Rose palette, and I'm gonna start with this very light brown shade just as a transition shade. By the way, these eyeshadows are good. They're not like amazing. If you needed a palette, I don't think you'd like be disappointed if you get the all matte one. The shimmers are very like sheer and more like glitter, so I would really only recommend the all matte one, even though this one has like nice tones as well. It's just like one of those palettes, if I lost this, I don't think I'd necessarily be that upset about it, but I do use it occasionally. Next, to deepen everything, this is the PYT Warm palette, taking this like orangey brown on a small little elf brush, keeping this close to the outer V. Pretty soft and simple so far. I just took the same two shades I used, run a little bit on my bottom lash line. But for our lid today, I'm going to use the Vesca Moonlight Dream Shadow again because it's so pretty. Total spring vibes. This is the shade Lyra, which is, it's just unreal how pretty this is. It comes in a little squeezy tube. And for this, I just love using my fingers to apply this. And this is just going all over my lid. This is a gorgeous, like, champagne with just the prettiest micro glitter. I love it because it's not like chunky glitter. It's just so natural looking. It just gives you like a really glossy lid look. Super easy, already done. I just patted it on both of my lids. I'm going to do a powdered wing liner, which is like a staple in my everyday look, but I'm going to use like a red instead of a brown just to make it a little bit more fun and fresh. I'm using a ColourPop E6, which is so nice for liner. It's super fine. And I just like to start this by stamping it on my lash line, and then I sort of flick it out towards my brow and then connect it, and then I'll clean up the edge a little bit later. I'm actually going to take a short little blending brush in that same shade, and I'm going to use this to blend the wing in a little bit to the outer V, just to make it a little bit more smoky. Since that's pretty much it for the eyes, I did do a little bit of like a white on the inner corner. You can use a shimmer, whatever you're feeling. I'm going to top this off with mascara, using the CoverGirl Lash Blast Clean. Probably not gonna do lashes because more like an everyday look, but let me do that and then we'll move on to our lips to complete this look. For our lips, I'm gonna do more of like a rosy pink, and I found this ColourPop liner. So I got this set, which is like literally just a ton of different ColourPop liners. That's a pretty good match, isn't it? Kind of proud of myself. On the first try, picked this one out. This one's called Shot Clock? I don't know. But anyway, it matches. So we're gonna line our lips, and then this is a little Pixie liquid lip. Now that we got a good old lip line on, this is the Pixie Matte Last Liquid Lip in the shade Really Rose, which is really one of the only matte liquid lipstick formulas I actually like. So not too drying. So here's the finished look. I think it's really fun and fresh, spring ready, just more pink tones, moving away from the very like warm browns I use in the colder months. I hope you enjoyed this video, got some inspiration from it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss my next video. Let me know what you think of this look in the comments below, or let me know what your favorite color to wear in spring is. I love me some pastels. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.